Joining me now is the journalist Robert Taylor, contributor at The Telegraph and The Express. Afternoon to you, Robert. This is a big announcement coming. We are told this is the mother of all immigration announcements.
Yeah, and I think it shows the depth of anger among Leave voters in particular. They didn't vote for Brexit, only to find 750,000 people. That's the equivalent of Manchester coming in just last year. So we've had to build a city the size of Manchester to house the number of newcomers just last year. That's not what Leave voters voted for.
Indeed. Now, prior to Brexit, there was a policy about skilled workers coming in from abroad where a degree was usually required. The argument now is that we have a problem because we've got a shortage of people like care workers and other clinical professions where the threshold isn't up there at 35,000 or 38,000. So this may well provide a very snappy headline for the government. Look, Rishi sorted it out, but could create another problem.
It could, but care workers are some of the most poorly underpaid people in the country. We need to pay them more, and we need to get more Brits doing the job, more people who are actually here already. As I said to you the last time I was on this programme, Ian, the number of people on out-of-work sick benefits has gone up tenfold in 10 years. Let's get some of them doing those jobs.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, with the amount of people... We have, what, 3,000 people are coming a day, and I think 4,000 applying for sick benefit a day. So it's a crazy situation we're in, and I'm not sure every single one of them is unable to work, and maybe some of them would quite like to work as well.
Well, this is it.
We have a problem.
We're writing people off too early. We're saying you're too ill to work. That's it. You're now on benefits forever. That's not kind. It's actually cruel to millions of people.
Correct. If this announcement comes out today, as we imagine it will be, the two areas we think it's going to clearly affect, one is this salary threshold, the other will be the number of dependents. Now, that's also not without trouble as well. I mean, you think of a student coming over, the worst scenario, and bringing their gran with them. That seems a bit weird. But if an entire family are moving from one country to another, as happens, you know, you often hear it with a mate goes, oh, yeah, we're off to Australia for a year, or whatever. You don't expect to leave the kids at home.
You don't, and that's why we need to balance their rights as immigrants with the needs to keep immigration under control. We clearly haven't got that balance right, and we need to change it, and that's what I hope we're going to see from the Home Secretary and the Prime Minister this afternoon.
Do you think this is... I mean, firstly, who do you think Rishi Sunak is trying to appease most? Is it the electorate who are fed up, or is it Suella Braverman?
Well, it's a very good question. I think it's both. I think all sides of the electorate are fed up with this. Everyone, surely, was shocked by the number of figures that we had last week, 750,000. It's reform voters he wants to bring back into the fold, but it goes beyond that as well.
And I wonder whether, you know, we speak to a lot of disgruntled Conservatives, people, lifelong Tories, people who pounded the streets, electioneering for the Conservative Party, who are just fed up. And I wonder whether this, you know, has the boat sailed, to coin a phrase?
Well, that is the big question. Is this too little, too late? The fear is that it probably is. And a whole bunch of Tory voters are saying, we've had it with you. We don't see any difference between Starmer and Sunak. Now, I do, but a lot of people don't. And they're going to vote for someone else next time anyway, it would seem. I mean,
we'll come on to Keir Starmer in a bit, but it's interesting as to what the response this, because is there a bear trap being set for Labour on this?
I think there is a bear trap. I wouldn't be surprised if Starmer disagrees with the tone of the announcement but says, I'm not going to reverse anything. That's pretty much his way. It was the way with the autumn statement a few weeks ago as well. They trashed it but said, we're not going to reverse anything. I think they would be wise politically to do that, although it wouldn't gain respect from commentators like me.
Indeed. In terms of... I mean, there are two separate issues. The Channel migrant issue is a big old headache, and that arguably is, to some, certainly the optics of that, a lot of voters, they think of it, they're not thinking of care home workers coming here, they're not thinking of qualified doctors or nurses or IT experts, they're thinking of people who really shouldn't be here coming over on boats.
They're thinking about the small boats, and that is a separate issue. It's as important, but I'd say over the last 2 weeks since those figures came out, 750,000, the legal migration has overtaken illegal migration in the public minds as the most important issue. They're clearly both important, and Rishi Sunak needs to get a grip of both if he's going to do anything at all in the next election.
We mentioned this last week. The immigration debate, you alluded to it at the beginning, Robert, is intrinsically linked with the welfare debate. It has to be, because we've got so many people not working in some cities in this country. I think Blackpool was top of the list. 25%, a quarter of a town, unemployed.
And this, I think, is working-age people, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, people who could go to work and for whatever reason aren't working, can't find a job.
Yeah. Now, some of them will be on sick benefits. Some of them literally will be too ill to work, but I can't believe all will.
Yeah.
Those are the people we need to get a grip with and say we need to get them back into the workforce.